Welcome back to the Fake Straight Podcast. I'm the host, your girl, Tanara. Please note that the opinions expressed by any guests on this show do not necessarily represent my views or the views of Fake Straight Media. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Grab your favorite beverage or mine, a glass of champagne, clink clink, and let's get into it, y'all. Hey y'all, welcome back to another week of the Fake Straight Podcast. I'm your host, your girl, Tanara. I am so excited because this week our guest is one of my very best friends, and I'm going to let Miss Crystal introduce herself. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Crystal. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Identify as straight, and I am a mental health specialist.
We're going to get into that one, y'all. We're going to get into it. Crystal has the most horrific dating stories, dating situationships, and I want to get into some of them. But Crystal tells me, I don't think I want to date women anymore. Like, I don't think tell me what you said, because I don't want to put words in your mouth and be like, I don't think I'm gay. But tell me what you told me a couple of weeks ago.
It was on the lines of, I think I don't feel called. I think I used the word called. I don't feel called to date women anymore. At this point, it's like something that's just uncomfortable. It almost doesn't feel natural for me anymore. But at the same time, it's me not dating women is not the norm for me. That's all I've done.
Because you're a gold star. Can we say that on here? Are you comfortable?
A gold star.
Yes, gold star. Not for long. Crystal is in the very small percentage of the gold star lesbians. So for the folks that are not in the community, what that means is that you've never slept with a man. And so women gold stars typically brag about it. But I see, Crystal, you're not being braggadocious, probably because you're about to leave the club. Okay.
Yes.
So Crystal said, I don't know, Tanara, don't be mad at me. I want to share this with you. I was like, why would I be mad? Shit, I was fake straight for so long. You're fake gay, okay? It's fake gay. So when you say you don't feel called, because I know you've been on your spiritual journey, tell us about your background and tell us how you grew up. Like, tell us about like your religious background and like your family dynamic.
I grew up in a very strict Christian household. I have two brothers, and then both parents, they've been married for 40 years now, I think. And so I was just used to basically following the rules, doing what I had to do in order to not get in trouble, in order to uphold an image. And so when I was younger, I didn't think that I was a lesbian. Like that was just something that wasn't the norm. Like if you were a lesbian, it was just like, oh my gosh, there's literally something wrong with you. So that wasn't even a thought of mine growing up. It was just like, I'm following the rule book and I'm doing whatever I can to please my parents, make it to heaven, and so forth. Then my junior year in high school, I played basketball my whole life. So my junior year in high school, I met someone just playing against them. We were both in the same league, and this girl was a lesbian. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the first lesbian I've ever met. It was weird. Long story short, ended up just having feelings for each other. And we ended up dating. And it was a struggle because of, religion was playing a role in just my thought process and what I was doing, just a lot of conviction and guilt. She was a freshman and she was open about it. She wasn't open to her parents, but to all of her friends. All of her friends knew. Yeah. She was just like, this is me, this is what it is, and that's that.
So then throughout high school, college, you dated just different women. Did you have a serious relationship in college with a woman?
Freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I was in a serious relationship. So freshman year of college, I was with the girl I dated in high school, my first girlfriend. And then my sophomore and junior year, I dated someone on the softball team.
Have you ever come out to your parents or family?
No, I never really came out. I know there was one point where I got like really upset with my mom as an adult, and I was like, this is why I'm a lesbian. And she was just kind of like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like,
She
"No,
was
this
like,
is
"Girl,
why."
go get the sweet potatoes and leave me alone."
Yeah, yeah. So I know my mom has always suspected it, but we've never had a conversation. My parents and I really don't have that type of relationship where we talk about anything personal. So the
Mm.
whole coming out thing wasn't even a thought of mine. It was just something I never planned on doing.
Over the last few years, what were those situations, relationships like? Were you comfortable then, or were you still struggling with trying to reconcile your religious beliefs with
Right.
dating women?
Yep. So there were times that I was completely comfortable. I was like, this is just who I am, how I'm going to live. And then all of a sudden, something would happen. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. So it was almost like a roller coaster of feelings and emotions when it came to dating these different women. A lot of the time, I tried to block out the whole religious aspect, but for some reason, it just always came in and kind of changed my feelings and my mind towards what I was doing.
Looking back at it, do you think that religion was the reason for that? Or do you feel like some of these women, it was just like, that this ain't it?
I think that some of the women, it was just they were unhealthy, extremely unhealthy people, which caused problems in the relationship. I think then with other women that I dated, yeah, religion did play a role in just how I treated my partner, how available I was. When there's confusion and you're trying to be with somebody, you can't fully give yourself to them. And so I know that during those times, I wasn't able to give all of Crystal, all of me to some of my partners, which caused issues. And at the time, I was in a state of mind where it's like, no, this is just me. Like, I'm doing the best that I can. But in reality, it was like, no, conviction was really playing a role in regards to my actions towards them.
Okay, we'll go back to religion. Because Crystal and I are such good friends, over the years, I've heard many of her toxic lesbian stories. Tell me a time you dated a woman and it ended up just being a crazy situation, and you were like, what? Why am I here? What are we doing? What's going on?
When I lived in Houston, I dated several women. And one that I dated from, what'd you say?
I said, I know that's right. You said I dated several women. Women.
Yeah. And just from the jump of dating this one in particular, I just saw the crazy from the jump.
You can see the crazy in
We,
the eye. You see the
you
crazy in the
could
eye.
see, yeah, in the
You see
eyes,
the
in her
crazy in the
actions
eye.
and everything. First time, the first time that we hung out with one of my friends, there was an argument that happened, and it just made absolutely no sense to me. So we went out for Halloween. We went to Pearl Bar and had a great night. And then afterwards, as everyone does, we went to go get food. So we were at some late night spot waiting for our food. So she ended up putting her leg on my knee. And when she did that, she was wearing a dress. So you could literally see everything. And so all I did was take her leg politely, put it down, and like kind of fix her dress. And when I did that, like all hell broke loose. She just had straight up attitude, would not speak to me. We didn't even end up eating our food. My friend, I was like, yeah, I think it's time to go. So we end up walking out, and she is just like cursing. I can't remember exactly what she's saying, but she's just like popping off at the mouth. And so after about 2 or 3 minutes of walking, I turn around because she's behind us. And I'm like, what is your deal? Like, what is
She
your
was walking
problem?
behind you and your friend saying this stuff. Oh, this is embarrassing. I don't
Yeah,
want to be
very
that
embarrassing.
person.
And I'm like the type of person, I'm not about to argue or fight in public. Like that's just trashy
Yeah,
to
who
me.
wants to? Yeah.
Yeah. So she was going off. Finally, I turn around and I'm like, what's your deal? What's your problem? And she didn't really say anything. She just kept on popping off. So at that point, I was like, yeah, to my other friend, we're going home. We get an Uber, go back to my place. She ends up spending the night. And when we woke up, I was like, what happened last night? And she goes, I don't even remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's time for you to go home, girl.
I was thinking like you weren't even that drunk. Like it was just insane. And she was like, I know that I was upset, and I was like, but why? She goes, I don't know. I just was.
You know
Okay.
what I realized? I realized now that I'm having these conversations with people, alcohol plays such a big role in the toxicity.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because like we're queer, we go out a lot, we party a lot, but I realize alcohol plays a big role in this. So there's
Yeah.
no apology, there's no nothing. It's like let's just move on with our day, babe. What?
Right. Right. Yeah, and I'm the type of person like even if you don't remember the night, like let's have a conversation about how
Yeah,
much we're going to drink when we go out so that this
yeah.
doesn't happen again. But this person was like, "No, if I was the cause of the problem, I don't want to talk about anything."
Especially in front of friends. Like that's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Now, Crystal, let me call you out on this because you did keep talking to this woman because this is pretty girl, right? She's
Yeah.
very pretty. Y'all. She's very, very pretty. I see a little crazy in the eyes. I'm telling you, it's like Judge Mathis. I see the crack in the eyes. Let's see. She was a very pretty girl. You talked to her back and forth and back and forth. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
why?
for
What
a
was
good 2.5 years. 2 years?
and then y'all circled back after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
did.
Sophie over here. Yeah, for like a year and a half we did. And then you spun the block, okay? Mhm.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
So then you weren't like, okay, I'm not dating women. You were still dating other women after that. I do remember you went on a Tinder date with someone a couple years ago. That was interesting.
A couple of years ago, I went on a Tinder
Like a year
date.
and a half. Remember, y'all got an Airbnb. You brought her a little gift. You showed up dressed nice and smelling good.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about her.
Damn. I like to forget about people I dated too.
Oh, I completely forgot about her. Oh my gosh. So, ew.
You literally deleted her from your I do that all the time, okay? Several people I dated, I've deleted them from my head. It never happened.
That's
Tell us about
crazy.
that. That was a Tinder
Yeah.
situation. I'm gonna give her a nickname. Let's go with Michelle.
So, yes, I met a girl, another one, on Tinder, and she lived out of state. So we ended up meeting halfway. I got an Airbnb, like Tanara mentioned. I was dressed nice when I arrived. I had showered, got the whole place set up because I got there before her. Had her a nice gift, all that kind of stuff. So I waited probably like an hour and a half for her to arrive. And when she arrived, I went down to go get her. Found her car, and when she got out of that car,
Mm-mm.
she looked like she had traveled like 24 hours that day just to get to me in a storm. Like she looked like she had changed a flat tire. Like
Like, bitch, did you get dressed at the rest stop?
what?
Like,
I was like, no, no, this is not happening right now. And this was our first time meeting. So I kind of played it off, gave her a hug, did not want to. Anybody who knows me, like I just have yourself together, please. Like I don't if you're not together, don't touch me, don't come near me. Like get it together first. So I gave her a hug, got her stuff. We went inside the building that we were staying at. We get on the elevator and she looks at me and she goes, "You look really nice." And I
yeah, because I
couldn't
need a
say
date.
like, yeah, I couldn't say like, "Thanks, you do too." I was just like, "Thank you." And then it was silent. So that was awkward. So I take her to the Airbnb, and we sit down and I'm thinking like, is she gonna change, shower,
Yeah,
like do
freshen up.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're sitting there and we start chit chatting, and she's really nervous. And I'm like, "Do you want something to drink? I got wine, whatever, whatever." So she's like, "Yeah," to calm my nerves or whatever. So I get her a drink. We continue to talk. About 30, 45 minutes pass, and I'm thinking like, well, we should go get dinner. I was like, "What time do you want to go eat?" She goes, "We can go right now."
Shut up. I didn't remember that part.
No, she said we
Shut
can go
up.
now.
Because even if you travel, even if you got there and you were looking decent, right? You would still be like, give me like 20 minutes to like chin up. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
that. Mm,
Yeah, so she said we can go now, and I'm thinking in my head like, what do you mean? Like you're not gonna
right now.
shower
Nope.
or anything? And I was just like, okay, because like, what was I supposed to do? So we went out, me dressed all nice, her dressed raggedy, hair not even combed, like not combed, looked like it had not been washed in days. It was just bad. It was bad. She had on a really raggedy sweatshirt and I can't remember the bottoms. It was either shorts or
Shut up. She did not have on no shorts. Crystal, you lying. Bye. Bye.
I promise you. I just remember the raggedy sweatshirt. I think that was my focus. And that looked dirty too. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not freshly washed. I promise you it wasn't. So yeah, that's what she wore to dinner. We went to dinner. I ate as fast as I could. Um, During the dinner, she's like, "I'm having such a good time," and I'm just like, I just want this to end.
I'm
You
not
know what I'm saying?
lately.
Yeah. So we end up going back to the Airbnb afterwards. Continued to talk. I think we played a game. And then she was like, "You want to go to bed?" And I'm like, "You're going?" I'm
She
thinking,
didn't
"You're going?"
shower, but I'm bye y'all.
No.
Crystal, I would have never let you talk to this woman. I Crystal, she didn't
It's like, what do
shower.
you do though? You're like, what was I supposed
Sleep
to
on the
do?
sofa. Sleep on the sofa. I'm actually more comfortable since we just met. I'd like to sleep on the sofa. You take the bed. Cause y'all just sleep in
Right.
bed together, huh? Y'all did. Mm.
Yeah, it's
I get it.
embarrassing. Yeah.
It is embarrassing. I'd be dating men too if I were you.
Good one.
Okay. Okay, so y'all wrap that up. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to give these two examples of weird stories. I mean, she's got so many interesting stories. But then also, Crystal recently was dating a woman and she started dating her. They're not dating anymore, obviously, but asked her how she knew this woman. And Crystal, how did you, because you knew this woman previously, share with the
Yeah.
viewers how you knew this woman that you were dating?
I dated her sister. Dated her sister. You just had to take it there.
Y'all lesbians. I'm saying y'all because I'm taking myself out of the conversation. Like, why? Like,
It just happened. It just happened. I promise you. It just happened. It was never a thought. It just happened.
y'all be doing too much. This is like a Tyler Perry movie. How you date somebody and then years later date their sister?
But it was like years and years later.
I don't care.
I dated her sister like 10 years ago.
So out of high school though.
No,
How long you been out of
college.
high? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Out of high school, like you weren't dating her in high school. That you said it like, oh, so long ago. Like this was like a high school crush. You were an
But it was.
adult. That's
You're an
that's the bottom
adult.
line. You were an adult.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But her sister was okay with it. So
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
look, her sister was okay with it.
Okay, let's segue from that. Okay, so these are some of the stories. So some of you listening and watching may say, okay, I now see where Crystal is going with this, like removing herself from the community. But that's not the reason why. Do you feel like I'm just not gay anymore? I'm going to date men. Do you feel attracted to men now?
I mean, I've always had like a slight attraction towards certain men,
Mhm.
but I never really like wanted to pursue a man, if that makes sense, or be with one. There was just a slight attraction. It stopped right there, and that was that.
What man
But I
do you have
think
a
that. Mhm.
do you have a celebrity crush? Tell us your type of man you date.
I don't have a celebrity crush, but if I were to date a man, this is so awkward.
Come on, I want to hear it. Tell this is
It's
your
so
coming out
weird.
story. You're coming
It's
out. It's
it's so
reversed. You're
weird.
out. to- If you
If
were
I
to
were
date
to date a Yeah, if I were to date a man, he would have to be like a big football player. I wouldn't want someone super muscular, but not I don't want like someone who's chubby either. You just have to be like right in the middle.
him,
But yeah, you have to be like just a big boy.
that's very specific. Good luck. Good luck, sis. You know how many straight women been out here looking for this?
Oh
Okay.
my
I wish
gosh.
you well. I wish you
Hey,
well.
hey, look, like a country white boy. A
No,
big
you
country
tried
white
that.
boy.
Does it matter to you, black, white? You're just like, I want to date an interesting man.
I'm I'm actually, this might sound bad, but I'm not attracted to like black men like that.
Where's the Viola date? I'm by Crystal. Bye.
I look,
You have,
yeah.
so you're no longer gay. You're not attracted to black men. Who are you? Do I know you? Moving forward, what does this look like for you dating men?
I mean, I'm not going to date men as right
When are you
now. Like,
When's the soft launch for dating men?
look, I truly like don't have much of a desire to date at all.
Mm.
Um, and I honestly can't even see myself dating a man. Like, that's foreign to me. But at the same time, like, I don't want to date a woman. So at this point, it just looks like I'm going to be single the rest of my life.
Interesting.
And if
Interesting.
that were the case, I'd be perfectly fine.
I believe in manifesting and putting things out into the universe.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're saying you'd like to meet this big country white boy and say y'all met and y'all started dating, would you tell him, like, I mean, for all intents and purposes now, you can't even call yourself a gold star. You just have to call yourself a virgin. Like, there's no gold star out of the community. You're just a virgin.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
If that's
guess
what we're
I guess so. I guess so.
doing. Would you share that with him?
Oh, absolutely. I would share everything. I would have to.
Oh. How long have you been feeling this way? You were recently dating a woman. So when you were dating this woman, did you feel that way as well? Were you sexually, physically attracted to this woman that you were just recently dating?
Yeah, I mean, when things first started out, I was definitely attracted to her sexually as well, and then as we started dating, it just, that kind of left. It was just, again, I got those feelings of like, this doesn't even feel good anymore. The attraction faded, not from really anything that she did. I just think it just wasn't for me. And that was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not putting myself through this anymore. I don't want to continue to go through these cycles. So after the last woman that I just recently dated, I was just like, I'm done. I can't do this.
And that's because, and so this is the part I keep trying to get to, but I'm not wording it correctly. Tell me how your religious beliefs are affecting you dating women. That's what I think I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to like my relationship with Christ, I have a very strong relationship with him, and it's grown over the years, and I think this is the closest I've ever been to Christ. And it's something that's very important to me. It helps me with my peace and just the way that I live life. And so I think the how it's impacted just me dating women, is that, I don't want to word this the wrong way. I do believe that my relationship with Christ has convicted me and caused me to not want to date women anymore. Um, and it's not that I feel like I'm forced to do this or anything like that. It says in the Bible, like, his ways become our ways. And I just feel like there's just been kind of like a shift in just my feelings and my soul. And that's not, I don't judge anybody for how they live or anything like that. Like, I don't want anyone to think that just because I feel like I said, I was called out of this. But at the end of the day, I just do feel like in order for me to continue to stay truly connected to Christ the way that is beneficial to me, I this is the path that I was called to be on.
I love it. And I was about to tell you that if you start hitting me with the God said Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve type situation.
No, I would never. No, absolutely not.
Bye,
Absolutely
bye,
not.
bye,
No,
Crystal, bye.
absolutely not. No, no.
This is a little controversial because I feel like people always talk about this. Like, I knew someone who was a Jehovah's Witness that was like super gay, 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 gay. And he was like, nope, like, I'm just going to put aside that part of me. It's not that he wasn't attracted to men
Hmm.
anymore, but he was just
Yeah,
like, no, because of my
yeah,
religion and, family
right.
stuff, like, I put aside that. But so sometimes people say they can put that aside. Sometimes people say, no, they'll be in the church and they'll just do it on the low. Or
Hmm.
sometimes people say, pray the gay away. Do you feel like
Hmm.
that? Do you feel like you've prayed the gay away?
Um, I don't feel like I've prayed the gay away. I believe in the past that I used to literally try to pray the gay away, and
Mhm.
it never worked. At this point in my life, I got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about my sexuality. I'm just going to focus on my relationship with Christ. So
Mhm.
I'm going to move the way that I feel is natural to me while still actively pursuing Christ on a daily basis. And if he ends up changing my heart or my ways, then so be it. If he doesn't, then hey, I will continue to just fight this battle with him. And so as I did that, it's like I said, that natural attraction to women, it lessened the more
Mhm.
that I just didn't make that my reason, like not being gay, be my reason for connecting more with Christ, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so now I can look at a woman and I'm like, oh, she's beautiful, she's attractive. But like how I said, I used to look at men like that and not want to pursue. Now it's the same way with women. I can
Mhm.
look and be like, oh, she's really pretty or she's fine. I can say that still.
This is so interesting. I'm so interested in this, Crystal. Look, because you're one of my besties, I'm interested in seeing like how this progresses. Like, I will say, in the last few months, you have seemed much more peaceful, much more happy. So I love to see that. And I mean, if this is the path that you're on, and if this is what's bringing you that peace, that feeling of being whole, like, I love that for you. I'm still going to tell you all my gay stories. I'm still going to call you about girlfriend though. Mm, bye. As always, remember you define you. Do not let others define you. Thank y'all so much for joining us for another episode of the Fake Straight Podcast. You can follow us on all the socials at Fake Straight Pod. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you want to hear more of. Tell us what you love, what you didn't love, all that good stuff. And until next time, holla.